Ronaldo Tours is filmed before a live studio audience. I have arrived at the next stop on my tour, the north end of Boston, Massachusetts. The weather is cold, the people speak strange, and the trains drive on the street. Though it is relatively small, Boston's north end is the oldest residential part of the city. Originally settled in the 1630, it was not known as Little Italy until 1890, so we can just ignore the parts before that. Today, the neighborhood has approximately 100 eating establishments and is still considered to be the Italian hub of Boston. Let us stop at one of the signature establishments in the North End, Lucia's.
Lucia started in 1977 by me, my brother, my family, my mother and father, and it's been here ever since. I have a brother that loves paintings. So this year, every one of them represents a certain tank. One of them down there is the Last Supper. Then there is the one from Marco Polo bringing spaghetti back to Italy. The third one is La Figlia di Orio. Then up on the second floor we have all the paintings of the Sistine Chapel. And all these paintings were painted by a gentleman that was on a wheelchair and did them all in his garage on canvas, and then they were pasted up in the silk.
Would you tell me a little bit about your relationship to the north end of Boston? And
Ronaldo, I see you're not from Boston.
No, I am not from Boston.
The north end of Boston, back in the 60s and 70s, there was about 23,000 people living there.
Madonna.
Even today, whatever you're looking for that's imported from Italy, if you're looking for a specialty food or a specialty wine, you can get all that here.
Food, I don't have to look further than Lucia's, because the Abruzzese is amazing. Thank you very much for your time. This has been an absolute pleasure and an honor.
Tutto il mio piacere, e se ritorni siamo sempre qua.
Grazie.
Grazie a lei.
So, we are here in Polcari's coffee house. It is a torrefazione. So I have a question for you. Could you tell me a little bit about the history of Polcari?
Yes. In 1932, Anthony Polcari had a dream. He came over from Italy. He was 20 years old, and his dream was always to open up a business, and which he did at this location in 1932. We just had two types of coffee, dark and light. Now look at it. His son carried it on up until 2010, and I am now perpetuating the business myself. Been appointed the museum keeper.
So you are the capitano?
Yes, adesso.
How much coffee do you sell? Do you go through per day, per week?
Per week, per una settimana, 200 libbre, 200 pounds a week.
200. After 80 years, Polcari has become an integral part of the north end of Boston. What is your role in the community?
You know, it's a great question. I think we're a fixture here in the North End, and with all its history over 80 years, you know, generations of people come back to the store to take their kids, their grandkids, for the experience of coming into an old-time shop here. You can see we keep renovation to a minimum to ensure that experience. And it's become, you know, rituals for other people to come into the shop to play a part and come in the shop and experience that old-time feel.
Time to visit an eatery of a very different kind. Taranta was started by chef José Duarte. From the words of José himself, Taranta is the result of a marriage between southern Italian cuisine and Peruvian cuisine, and its success is due to its quality of food and service, and having a strong personality really helps. Taranta cooks and lives southern Italian cuisine with a Peruvian twist. Let us meet with José and discover Taranta on very deeper levels.
Hello. Hello. How are you?
I am very good.
Good, very good.
It is nice to meet you.
Very nice meeting you too.
I have to say, first of all, this marriage of Peruvian Italian cuisine, I have some reservations about it.
Don't worry about it. Let's see what we can do about it. Come in.
Okay.
When we opened this restaurant, we opened it as a strictly Southern Italian restaurant. And it was very difficult to, convince our fellow Italians or the American market about those products. So we started to incorporate in these Peruvian ingredients into our menu. While I was having an employee meal, cooking real authentic Peruvian cuisine, boiled yuca and some lamb with some cilantro stew. And I was mashing the yuca and mixing it with the sauce, and I'm eating it, and I'm like, wait a minute. Wouldn't that be a great gnocchi? I mean, if the Italians took potato for gnocchi, potatoes come from South America, why couldn't I just use a yuca root, make a gnocchi, and instead of making like a normal ragu, I do this traditional Peruvian recipe into a gnocchi. So we created that dish, and it's a gnocchi di yuca al ragu verde peruviano. So, and ever since there, we've been written up in Gambero Rosso as this bastardization of Italian cuisine, which is actually not true, but it's a very interesting way of actually putting our dishes and putting our concept through. So
this is a very unique restaurant. It is Italian food, but Peruvian ingredients. But that is not the only unique thing about Taranta. What else can you tell me that is very unique about the restaurant?
Yes, we actually adopted few environmental changes in our business practice in order to help the environment. About 5 years ago, we really wanted to find a way to minimize our operational cost and minimize our waste production, also reducing our carbon footprint. So we became one of the most eco-friendly restaurants in the area. We have been doing a lot of changes. We've done about 45 changes in our business practice, from almost zero waste to 100% renewable energy. So.
No, it's okay. I was never allowed in the kitchen.
There you go.
It's all for me. Is an exquisite work of art, and I will take my time enjoying it. I swear. Jose,
Thank you very much.
you are a genius in the kitchen.
Thank you. Thank you.
I came to America looking for an authentic piece of Italian culture. While there is much to be found here, I am only now realizing how wrong I was by looking for authenticity. The Italian-American experience is about a new kind of Italian culture, evolving through immigration patterns and embracing cultural diversity. The Italy of America is a different kind of evolution. If you want the authentic Italian experience, you go to Italy. If you want something different, but equally great, there is the dynamic and varying qualities of... I cannot even continue this. This is not just traditional Italian. This is something brand new to me. I need more! this?
It's beer.
That is no. Do you have any wine, any Chianti?